If you enjoy learning the Cherokee language with RSU TV, join our Signal Society. Your monthly gift of $10 a month ensures that RSU TV can continue to produce programs like the Cherokee language classes. Click the link in the description or call 1-800-823-7210 to join today.
Osio Nigard, Galiel, Nigachi Dedo, Kohig, Wade Blevins, Dawadon, Hiino, Originali. Go ahead.
Kathy Sierra Daudo, Jaleka Killa Daudo.
So, welcome back to Cherokee 2 here at RSU TV. We're really happy to be back, and we're really happy to have Miss Kathy, or Kailat, back, or Kailati, back with us for the next few lessons. So, today we are on Skigat Dusine, the 15th, Chalagia de lo Quasti, 15th Cherokee lesson. So, we're clipping right along and just making our way through. So kind of today what I would like to do is we're going to, I know sometimes when we're going through all these language lessons and things like that, your brain can kind of get full, you know. And so today we're going to slow down just a little bit. We're going to review a little and take it a little bit slow and kind of give our brains not a complete break, but just a little bit of a rest as far as throwing too much new at you. There's still be some new stuff for those of you that need something new to challenge you, but you know, we're going to slow it down just a little bit and take our time today. If you're struggling usually about this point in any kind of language lesson, your brain starts to kind of freak out a little bit, and you just start to feel overwhelmed. And I just want to encourage you, don't get overwhelmed, don't feel overwhelmed, just let it come, just let the language just kind of wash over you, and I promise you, it's a weird thing, it makes no sense, it's not how we normally go to school, but if you just kind of sit back and you just kind of listen to it and you let it come at you, over time, you can, it just starts to make sense, it just starts to kind of click, and that's how it is happening with me. And the more I listen to people like Kailadi and Peggy and Phyllis and Alice and all the wonderful speakers that are a part of my life, Melvina, it just all starts to make more and more sense. And that's going to be the same for you. Just let it come. Don't sweat it. If you sweat it, it makes it harder. So, you know, I promise you it will come. The nice thing about these is they're recorded. And you can find them on a lot of different platforms, either through Cherokee Nation or through RSU TV or even through YouTube. They're a lot of times available for free, so you can listen to them as many times as you want, and I encourage you to do so. With Cherokee 1, I had several people tell me that they would just put it on and play it through their radio in their car when they were driving, and they would just listen to it. Yeah. And that's a really good strategy, I think, because the more you hear it, the more little bits and pieces just start to make sense to you. Right. And that's, you know, kind of like little kids. You know, I have a daughter, and she's 7. She's just now learning to read, but with her, she cannot hear a story enough, or a TV show or a movie. We have watched like Moana probably 1,000 times, you know. But I'm starting to realize that it's because every single time she hears it, she's gaining new vocabulary. Yes. And a little bit more of it's making sense, and a little bit more, and a little bit more. Little kids don't sweat it if they don't understand 100% of the conversation that's going on, because, you know, they're not expected to. We don't expect them to. They don't expect to, you know. Right. But the more they listen to it, the more they get and the more it makes sense to them, you know. And it's going to be the same with you. The more you listen to it, the more it's going to make sense, and the more it's just going to come, all right? So, come. Idalena, talagi idiwoni. Okay, so we're kind of on this Bible verse little stint because there's a lot of really good vocabulary in them.
Right.
And like I said, a lot of people that are speakers that wanted to learn to read and write, this is how they did it. They started looking at the Bible and trying to read the Bible. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So I started going through and trying to choose some Bible verses that were either really short or they were words that we as learners already kind of know and that we can kind of figure out. So let's make our way through this one. Let's see. I'll see if I can read it, and then Miss Kathy is going to help me. So this is Thessalonians.
Yes.
Thessalonica anehi igayi hiskine ayatotla daladusine udat Udalka. I was like Udalka, and I was like, no, I know that's not right, but I can't get it. Udalka, Udalka. Okay, so Thessalonica anehi. Anehi means the ones that dwell there, right?
Yes.
Or the ones that are there. So these are the ones that live in Thessalonia, I guess. Thessalonica. And you can hear it, Thessalonica, Thessalonian, right? Ikayi, the first. So 1 Thessalonians. Hiskine ayatotla. Fifth hiskine, fifth chapter. Daladu sine udalska, the 16th verse. Is that correct?
Right.
All right. And so it's a nice short one, 2 words. So we love that, right? So it says, Ijali heli gesti nigo hila. Okay, so if you remember, almost every time that we start class, we'll say like Galieliga, right? And then we talked about the word ulihelisti, right? When we were talking about birthdays, I think it was, and or Galieligi. So this word, ijaliheligesti, is related to that word, right? And it means to be happy. It means to be thankful. It means, like if you say Galielig, it can mean I'm happy, right? I'm glad. I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. So it can mean a lot of good. It's a lot of good feelings in that word. So, ija li gesti. Ijali heli gesti. That esti at the end means to kind of continue on, right?
Yes.
And so it's a command, but it's not like a forceful command, right? It's like, it would be nice if you did this, right? Ijali heli gesti. Just like in our song, and we're going to go back over it. Tohi gehesti, right? Be calm, right? Ijali heli gesti. So you can hear the esti at the end, and nigohila, forever. Nigohila. So always or forever. Yeah. Now, if you were going to read this, how would you read it?
Ijali heli gesti nigohila.
Okay. So, ijali heli gesti nigohila. Okay? Let's do it one more time. We're going to just take it one sound at a time. E, ja, li, he, li, ge, sti. Okay? E, ja, li, he, li, ge, sti. So, in that word, there's one character that you see twice. Can you pick out which one it is? It's this one right here. And can you remember what sound it makes? It makes li, okay? So, I ja li he li ge sti. I ja li he li ge sti. Ni go hi la I. Ni go hi la I. Okay? In a lot of times in spoken Cherokee, that last E is left off, right? Ni go hi la.
Yeah.
Yeah, ni go hi la. There are a lot of hymns that have ni go hi la.
Yes.
Ski stili ski sti o go. So there's that hymn. Then it has that word in there always. Okay. Okay. So we're going to review because I feel like it's kind of important because it's really our first. For lack of a better word, we're going to call it a complicated verb because it's a verb that's really commonly used, but it depends on what it is, what the object of the sentence is, on what word you're going to use, right? So we learned this word, huinegi, okay? And then we learned the same word, huinegi. It's just said slightly different, right? Huinegi, huinegi. Slightly different. Huinegi, that's something that is flexible, right? Huinegi, something that is a liquid,
Yes.
right? And it means go get it, okay? And then we learned huigi. That's something that is solid, or that doesn't fit into any of the other categories, I guess.
Yeah.
It's kind of the catch-all, huigi. And then we learned huiya. Huiya. And that's something that's long, right? Huiya. There's also, she also talked about in the last lesson that this huinegi, is used if you're going to talk about something that's alive, like a baby. You could say, go get the baby, okay? But it's said slightly different than even the other two. So you put the accent on the hui. Huinegi. Huinegi. Okay? Is that correct?
You're right.
Okay.
Yes.
Huinegi. So you could say usti, not usti. Huinegi. Okay? Not usti, huinegi.
Yes.
But if you're going to say asano, address, you wouldn't say huinegi. You would say huinegi. And if you were talking about kawi, coffee, huinegi. Okay? So just to challenge myself, because this is something that I have always shied away from, is these verbs because they're hard. And so I have always tried to work my way around them and use a verb that isn't like this. And so, but I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to make an effort to learn them. So I'm going to have Miss Kathy quiz me today. So she's going to pick some nouns, some things to go get, and I'm going to decide whether it's huinegi, 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 huigi, or huiya. 5 options here, and we'll see how many I get right. Oh gosh, okay. All right, I think I'm ready.
Hawa. Jasulo.
Oh, jasulo. Jasulo. Huinegi. Am I right?
Star.
Okay,
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Unadi.
Unadi. Unadi. Huinegi.
Ski. Ho.
Oh, aho. Aho. Huiya.
Ski.
Huiya. And by the way, jasulo are your pants. Unadi is milk, by the way. So if you want to, know. Okay.
Tatilta anawong.
Oh, the teeth. It's let's see, huinegi.
That's it. Skita shirt.
Yes,
Go
or a
get your
blouse. It can
shirt.
be a blouse,
Yeah,
right, or a
or
nice shirt. Okay. A teeth.
Kawi.
Kahui. Kahui huinegi.
Winegi. Kawi winegi. Go get some coffee.
Coffee. Wake up.
Pencil.
Pencil. Huiya. Digo huelodi huiya.
Yes, pencil. Go get the pencil. Dila sulo.
Dila sulo. Dila sulo. Ooh. Now, would those be counted as huinegi, or would they be huigi?
I would say witineki.
Witinegi.
'Cause it's
Witinegi, because you're
two.
getting more than one.
Yes,
Witinegi.
That's another long
Witinegi.
instruction.
But they would still be
they'd
considered to be something soft.
Yes.
Okay.
And you go get them.
Witinegi. Okay. So there we go. So if you're getting more than one thing, you notice she said huitinegi. Huitinegi. Okay?
Okay. Let's see. A board.
Ooh, a board. Huiya.
That's it. How about a bucket of water?
Ama. Well, if I was going to do ama, it would be huinegi. But if it was the bucket itself, it would be huigi.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So
Tricky.
you'd go get the bucket and get some water, and you would, you'd say, the bucket in English, you would say, huiya.
Huiya.
Would you say it that way?
Yeah.
Huiya. And then get huinega. Go get the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a hard one.
Yeah, that is, because even for me, sometimes I have to think about it. But okay, what about goskilo?
Goskilo. Goskilo huigi.
Huiki.
Would it be, or would it be huiya?
I'd say huiya.
Huiya. Interesting. Yeah. Huiya. Because it's kind of long, right? Yeah. Huiya,
Yeah.
kind of a big object. Huiya.
Yes. Gohuel.
Gohuel huinegi.
Huineki. I don't know. What else? What do you want to go get?
Ooh, what about kodest?
Okay, kodest. Go get that shovel.
A shovel. Kodest. Huiya.
Huiya.
Huiya. Okay, what about geet? Geet.
Oh, geetli.
Geetli. Would it be geetli huinegi?
Skada.
Okay.
Huineki. What about chicken?
Oh, jatog. Jatog huinegi.
Huineki.
Now, could you use it in this way? Could you say like stali huinegi? Go get your friend. No.
No.
Because it more means like to go and
Yes.
like something you can like
You have
physically
to
and
go get. Just pick up.
Pick up and carry.
Bring it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's there. There's all different ways, as you can tell, but
Yeah.
But that's the root word for huineki, huineka, just all different, but it's all pretty much means the same. I mean, it's the same thing. You're doing the same motion in just different ways of trying to get things.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And for those of you that are learning, keep in mind that most speakers are pretty, well, I won't say most, but a lot of speakers are very encouraging when you try to learn. So if you don't say the right one, they usually just go with it. Every now and then you'll come across a speaker that's a little pickier.
Yeah.
But that's good because, you know, when they're picky with you like that, then you learn, you know. So either way, try and use it once you feel comfortable. All right. So now this one is a related word, sort of. Not really, but so we're going to talk about huaduga. Huaduga. Okay, so we talked about huinigi. We're going to talk about huaduga. Huaduga. Huadug. Go hang it up, right? Like gasoline, huadug. Go hang up your coat. How would you say go hang up your coat?
Huadug.
Huadug. Huadug.
Gasoline, huadug.
Huadug.
But it's the same as what you
Huadug.
said. Yeah.
And it might be a dialect thing.
Yes,
Huadug, huadug.
I think so too, because I knew what you were saying, but I say it different.
Right, yeah, yeah.
So many, when you start talking to different people.
Huadug, 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 okay? And that's only with something that is flexible, like a coat or a shirt or an apron.
A rope. Right?
A rope, yeah.
Yeah,
You could
huadug.
go hang up a huadug. You could, a rope.
What about your hat?
Oh, a square tool, huadug.
So it would work
I would
too.
think,
wouldn't
yeah.
it?
A square tool, huadug. Or, what's a cap? Adlo,
I just call it a square tool. I know there's probably another word for it, but it's right there.
Yep.
I
It'll come
can't-
to me.
yeah.
Hopefully by the end of class, I'll remember a ball cap is. I lost it, but I'll get it back because I use it all the time. So you would think I would remember it. All right. So we're going to review this Balu Baliri, which is a Scottish lullaby. So we're kind of working our way around the world, but I kind of decided, I thought this was a good thing, you know, that we, because of course the Scottish lullaby originally was written in Gaelic, and then it was translated to English, and it's been translated into many other languages, and I was like, well, let's do it into Cherokee.
Yeah.
So, and it's really, it's a lullaby, but it could also be a prayer in a way, because you're asking to be, you know, to protect your child is kind of the purpose of this song. So we're going to read our way through it. It says, Tohi Gehesti. Okay? Tohi Gehesti. Tohi Gehesti. Tohi Tohi. Okay? Yahweh Junsti Wijena. Yahweh Junsti Wijena. Go away. Yahweh Junsti Wijena. Agwena Sai. Okay? And then, of course, we go back up and do the Tohi Gehest. Then Galiladid Dawulosa. Galiladid Dawulosa. From up above. Dayulosa. Dayulosa. Galiladi Dayulosa. Galiladi Dayulosa. Ani Dawehi. Okay, and we also learned another word for angels as well. Dinika no wa di Dinikano-wati. Dinikano-wati.
Dita, or yeah, you
What
can
dita?
say. Dita.
Dinikano-wati da.
Or do.
Yeah.
Either way.
Tohi Hitlan. Tohi Hitlan. Or Hitlan. Tohi Hitlan. Agwena Sai. So this Tohi Hitlan, this could be something you could use every day, you know, when you say goodnight to people, you know, because really in Cherokee, most speakers tell me that, like, if you say Osta Sunale, that doesn't really, or Osta Sanoi, that doesn't, that they never heard that really growing up, that it's kind of a new thing.
Yeah, yeah. just because those two words translate into that word,
Right.
you know, but we never really said, like if we see people in town, we never said, Osta Sanala
Yeah.
or Osta Usa.
Yeah.
It was always OCO, Tohiju.
Yeah.
And maybe Donadago Hain.
Or Ihedola or Jadok
Welcome. It was the welcome and the goodbye.
Yeah.
You know, but not really say goodbye.
Right, until we see each other again.
Yes.
And I've heard, you know, younger speakers, they'll even say something like Kilaya or something like
Yeah.
that. I've heard them say that
Really?
too. Yeah, like later.
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 Yeah, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, they'll say Kilaya.
But you know, these young speakers, I mean, they can get that out there. I mean,
Yeah,
they'll know what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, and it makes sense to a fluent speaker. It still makes sense.
Yes.
They're like, oh, I know what you mean. You
Yeah,
know. So.
yeah.
But this one, Tohi Hitlan, you could, or I've heard people say Ost Hitlan.
Yes.
Or they'll ask the next morning, they'll say, Ostis Hitlan. I remember we were in North Carolina together, and Mary Brown.
Yeah.
We were eating at the restaurant, and Mary Brown came over from Tood, from Snowbird, and that was the first thing she asked me. She said, Ostis Hitlan, you know, did you sleep good?
Yeah.
You know, and so... So you can use this, you know. I guess you could ask, Tohis Hitlan, did you sleep peacefully?
Right.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and, would you go ahead and read that for us?
You want me to start with up here?
Yeah,
Tohi.
you do.
Tohi gehesti. Tohi gehesti. Tohi gehesti. Tohi, tohi. Yowi junsti we jana. Yowi junsti we jana. Yowi junsti we jana. Agwena sa'in. Galalot di la da yulosa. Galalot di la da yulosa. Galalot di la da yulosa. Ani dawe hi. Tohi hilana. Tohi hilana. Tohi Hitlana Agwena Sa'i.
Very good. All right. So we're going to go ahead and try to sing it. Would you like to try to sing? Would you like to sing it? Or would you prefer I did?
I want you to do that.
Okay. All right. So we'll give it, of course, I don't claim to be any kind of singer or anything like that. But that's not what's important. The important part is the words and the learning. All right, so didinoge, tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi tohi Yanwi jun stiwi jena Yanwi jun stiwi jena Yanwi jun stiwi jena Agwena sai Tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi tohi Galaladid ladayulosa galaladid ladayulosa Galaladid ladayulosa anidawehi. I still think that's anidawehi. To me that sounds better. So, but I forget it whenever I'm singing it. We'll continue though. Tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi gehesti tohi 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 hitlana, tohi hitlana, tohi hitlana, agwena sai. Okay. And then again, you can sing the chorus again if you want. But that's the song. I hope that you at least learn something from it. And if you want to use it, more power to you. So you're more than welcome to use it with your kids or your grandkids or whoever. I think I would go to sleep if someone sang that to me. So I think it would put me to sleep. Okay. Then the other one is a way longer song, and it's taken from a Czech song called Čížečku, Čížečku. And you see here, I've written it up here, Čížečku. Čížečku is the word for a bird called a linnet. And the song in the original Czech language is about harvesting poppies and making poppy flour. To make bread or whatever. So, but for us, we don't have poppy flowers, and we don't really use them like that. And so, but we do use corn. So we're going to challenge ourselves in our reading because this is Cherokee 2. So let's try to read as much in syllabary as we possibly can. So this says Skinoha si gani. Kato hatane hon. Okay. Ski no ha si gani. Kato hatane hon. Okay. Selu. This looks like 4M, and it's selu. Okay. Selu. Da. De hui sanska. De hui sanska. De hui sanska. Is it de hui sanska? De hui sanska. De hui sanska. Skino hasiwu. Skino hasiwu. Tell me. Just tell me. Okay. Skino hasi gani. Kato hadane hon. Selu. Dehi hui sanska. Skino hasiwo. Would you read that for us?
Skino hasi gani. Kato hadane hon. Selu dehi hui sanska. Skino hisawo.
Okay. So that dehi hui sanska. Dehi hui sanska, that is planting.
Yes.
Right, you planting them, more than one thing, right? The day lets us know that we're not just planting one little seed, we're planting many seeds.
Yes.
And the he tells us that you are doing it, is the subject of the sentence. The tune for this is Skino hasigani. Gado hadane ho. Selu dehi hui saska. Skino hasiwu. Okay, I did a good that time. I did a good job that time.
Yes.
Sometimes I can't get all those sounds in there.
Yes.
So let's try it again, slightly faster. Skino hasigani. Gado hadane ho. Selu dehi hui ska. No. Selu dehi hui saska. Skino hasiwu. See, I bragged on myself, and then I messed up.
That's a good job.
So let's do it again, because, I want to get better. So we'll do it maybe a little faster. Skino hasigani. Gado hadane ho. Selu dehi hui saska. Skino hasiwu. Ooh. Wonder if I could do it even faster. Oh, gosh, I don't know. Okay, let's see. Skino hasigani. Gado hadane ho. Selu dehi hui saska. Skino hasiwu.
See, you did it. That's good.
All right. So, you can do the same thing. Challenge yourself. Just go slow, make your way through it, try to sing along even, and then try to speed yourself up. And then before you know it, it really does. I don't know why our brains work this way, but if you sing it, it's easier to say it.
And it sticks up here.
Yes. I know I used to have a really hard time teaching like big words whenever I used to have kids that did the Challenge Bowl or the Language Bowl. And like words like farmer, you know, because it's kind of a long word and they could not remember it.
Yeah.
So then I did the song Bingo, Digalogi Ski, you know, and I would teach them that song. Gitliu weka digalogi ski bingo do doa, and they would remember the word in less than 5 minutes, and they would have the word and they would know it. So it really, really does help. I know it sounds silly and I know it seems childish and infantile, and I get that, but it's how our brains work. So it honestly helps.
I agree.
It honestly helps. All right. So, and then here is the next part of the song. It says, He I da ni ga da ne hon. Okay, that hon, or the on at the end, tells us that it's done more than once, right? It's done over a period of time, over and over and over again, like a habit. This is how it's always done. This is how it's generally done. Okay, He I da ni ga da ne hon. He I da ni ga da ne hon. Se lu de ji hui ska. De ji hui ska. Okay, notice it's almost the same as the one before, right? De hi hui ska, but we have one different sound, this G. De ji, I, de ji hui ska. Okay, I plant corn, okay? He I da. Yeah, this right here. Ni ga da ne hon. Would you read this for us?
He ada ni ga da ne hon se lu de ji hui saska. He ada ni ga da ne hon.
Very good. Okay, so you can use this again. This is a very, very useful construction. Because if you're teaching a child how to do something, or you know, you can say ni. He ita ni ka ne hon. This is how I do it.
Yes.
You know, so you know, and if you're wanting to ask how to do something, you know, gado hada ne hon, make fry bread or make kanachi, or you know, you can use it. Okay. And then so to sing it, we'll do it a little slow, and then we'll try to speed ourselves up. And it says, He I da ni ga da ne ho se lu de ji hui ska. He I da ni ga da ne ho. Okay, I got a little off tune there, but let's try to speed it up. Maybe I'll get less pitchy. I don't know. He I da ni ga da ne ho se lu de ji hui ska. He I da ni ga da ne ho. Okay, we'll see if I can speed it up a little bit. He I da ni ga da ne ho se lu de ji hui ska. He I da ni ga da ne ho. Okay, so let's see if we can put the two together. Okay. Ski no hasi ni gado hada ne ho se lu de hi hui ska. Ski no hasi wu. He I da ni gada ne ho se lu de ji hui ska. He I da ni gada ne ho. And remember, I think I told you, the original Chichechku song always has actions with it. They always do these little actions acting out all the different parts. So we're going to do the same thing. So whenever we do dehi hui siska, we're going to plant, right? We're planting. We're planting our seeds. So, and he I da ni ga da ne ho se lu de ji hui ska. He I da ni ga da ne ho. And this will also help you remember the word. Okay?
Yep.
Now the next one says, skinohasi gani gado. Different word, ni gali sti sko. But I know that ni gali sti sko isn't really a word. So I kind of play around with it, and this helps if you have a little bit of language in front of you. So nigal stisko, how it happens, how it occurs. Nigal stisko. Selu, you, and then this is da, but because I know the word, it's ta, utasa. And we talked about how it's related to the word utasona or awatasa, growing up, right? So we can use this word grow, not just for corn, but for people.
Right.
Animals, anything that can grow, right? So, selu utasa, skino si wu. Okay? Utasa. So, skino si gani, gado, nigal stisko, selu utasa, skino siwu. Would you read that for us?
Skino hasi gani gato nikal stisko selu utasa skino hasiwu.
All right. Thank you, Wadon. And so for growing in Chichechku, because growing poppies was in the original song, and they do this, like a little flower growing up towards the sky. So that works for me. I see what it means. So we'll use that too when we get to that part of the song. So let's see if I can sing it. Skino hasigani gado nigal stisko selu utasa skino hasiwu utasa. Okay? And then it has hiita nigal stisko selu ataska. Okay? Hiita nigal stisko. Okay? Nigal stisko. Nigal stisko. Yeah. Okay. I was making sure I spelled it right. Okay. Would you read that for us?
Hiata nikal stisko selu ataska. Hiata nikal stisko.
Okay. Good. So, hiita nigal stisko selu ataska. Hiita nigal stisko. Right? So, deji huisaska ataska. Right? Skino hasigani gato nigal stisko selu uwanistana. Okay? Or uwanistan. You could say it either way, really, couldn't you? Uwanistan or uwanistana. Skino hasiwu. Would you go ahead and read that real quick for us?
Skino hasi gani gato nikal stisko selu uwanstana skino hasiwu.
Excellent. Okay, so we'll try this one, and I think this was what we decided for ripen because of the tassels coming out. Yeah. So skino hasigani gado nigal stisko selu uwanistan skino hasiwu. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and try to see. Hiita nigal stisko selu uwanistan. Hiita nigal stisko. The next one. Skino hasi. Hopefully by now you know the word skino hasi. Means tell me, right? Skino hasi gani. Gado hadaneho. Selu Dehitlisiska. Skino hasiwo. Okay, would you read that one for us?
Skino hasi gani kato hadane ho selu dehitlisiska skino hasiwu.
Okay, and so we're going to pick the corn. We're going to put it in our basket. Skino hasikani gado hadaneho selu dehitlisiska skino hasiwu. Okay, and then would you read that one for us?
He ada nikadane ho selu dehitlisiska. He ada nikadane ho.
Okay, so then he ida had nigal. I'm on Nigal Stisko. He ida nigada neho selu de jitlisiska. He ida nigada neho. Let me do it again so I don't forget. He ida nigada neho selu de jitlisiska. He ida nigada neho. All right. Would you read that one for us?
Skino hasi gani kato hadane ho selu dehinu leska skino hasi wu.
Okay. Skino hasi gani gado hadane ho selu dehinu leska skino hasi wu. Okay, so we're going to shuck the corn. Dehinu leska. Dehinu leska. Shuck the corn. Okay, would you read that one for us?
He ada nikada neho selu deji nuleska. He ada nikada neho.
Okay. He ida nigada neho selu deji nuleska. He ida nigada neho. Okay.
Skino hisi gani kato hadane ho selu dehi wo yotiska skino hasiwa.
I do the same thing. Wo and ka look exactly alike to me. They are so hard to me to read. Skino hasigani gado hadane ho selu de Dehikayo diska skino hasiwu. I had to think about it. Dehikayo diska.
And I said whoa, but it's ka.
Ka. But they look just alike.
They look alike.
I do the exact dehikayo diska. Dehikayo, no, to dry them, we're going to hang them up, right?
Yeah.
Dehikayo diska. Okay. Skino hasigani gado hadane ho selu dehikayo diska skino hasiwu.
Okay. He ada nikada ho selu dehikayo diska. He ada nikada ho.
Okay. He ida nigada neho selu de jikayo diska. He ida nigada neho.
Skinoha sigani kadohada neho selu de histoska. Skinoha siwu.
Okay. Skino hasigani gado hadaneho selu dehistoska skino hasiwu.
He ada nikadaneho selu dehistoska. He ada nikadaneho.
He ida nigadaneho selu dehistoska. He ida nigadaneho. Okay.
Skinoha sigani kadohada neho selu gadu yajadu na skinoha siwu.
Ooh, this one's a hard one. Skino hasigani gado hadaneho selu gado yijadun skino hasiwu.
You got it in there. He adanikadaneho selu gadu yaki duna. He ata nikata neho.
Okay. He idani gadaneho selu gadu yagidun. Okay. He idani gadaneho selu gadu yagidun. He idani gadaneho. Remember, we're baking it. We're putting it in the oven. All right. We have like 1 minute left. Let's see if we can eat it today.
Skino hisika na kato hata neho seluka tu yijaka. Skino hisawu.
Skino hasika ni gado hadaneho selu gado yichaka skino hasiwu.
He ata nikata neho seluka tu yakika. He ata nikata neho.
He idani gadaneho selu gado yagiga. He idani gadaneho. We made it. All right, by the skin of our teeth.
You did great.
So, from all of us here, I want to say wadon for coming in, and we'll let her sign off today.
Wato.
Okay.
Don't go, huh?